Okay, we should be back. Everything good to go. Everything good. Everything is fine. Is good. Everything is fine. December 30th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 2.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Well, very well, Miss Von Karma. You may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory on the events.
What is the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. That one saw Maximilian Galactica flying off from the scene of the crime.
Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to the revisions, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew on that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe.
Very well. Please call your witness to the stand.
Time to get to work. Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation.
Ken Ding Ling. But everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the very big circus.
Where were you the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night.
If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene.
My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window.
The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed?
Okay. It was after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Gallica. I only saw him from out behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the night that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edward did.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened.
Very well. You may proceed with the cross-examination. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Wait.
Let's go, Preston. You said that you were resting in bed? One would thus assume that you would turned the lights off in your room, correct?
That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes I can make it hard to sleep. It can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Oh!
The witness will proceed with his testimony?
Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window.
Your room is on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes.
And you said that you were resting in bed.
That is correct.
But you were still able to hear the sound from outside?
I was indeed.
Pressing acro doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he just said now? I don't think so.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
No, nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly.
Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window.
Are you sure it was a human being? It could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure.
Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible.
You have no need to mince your words, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night.
I believe it was a human.
Damn. I just straightened this testimony. I wonder if Acura's statement jibes with the facts. I don't know yet.
It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that I thought I was dreaming.
The light in your room was turned off then, right?
That's true. I was going to bed after all.
So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly above your window?
The safety light lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the symbols? I clearly saw a silk hat as well as a cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with this latest statement? I don't know yet. Let me push this last one. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. When did you start thinking that what you saw wasn't a dream?
Objection!
That's not important.
Objection!
I believe that the prosecution has done a bit more maintenance on the witness's memory.
Just to make sure, let's ask the witness.
Oh, objection.
Is this sustained?
Don't sustain that. Acro must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is. Now the challenge will be to expose his lies in court. Well, put the pedal to the metal, Nick. And just after, right by my window, saw him from behind. I think it's this one. Because if his hat's on the floor to begin with, like, how are you seeing his symbols anyway? There's a huge contradiction in the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have an evidence to support your claim of your contradiction?
The hat. Like, it's at the crime scene. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that?
What do you mean?
The silk hat.
What about the silk hat?
I saw it on Max's head as he flew by the window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night.
And that would be been quite difficult considering the state I am in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me.
That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene.
That's the ringmaster's hat, right?
Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Mac's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max's hat has two silk hats?
No, this is handmade one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand.
Order! Order!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
He has a grudge against Max. Acro was dreaming. Acro is the real culprit. Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. on this occasion?
Accuse Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trip to the circus must have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's heart and mind. Your Honor, do not allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. He is staying rather calm and collected. Peck, 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 peck.
Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defendant's accusations?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear that accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, heartless, cruel man.
Phoenix is a psychological poopy head.
See, and that Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're trying to drum up support for a peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Akro was unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well? I can hear the defense now. Akro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
Yes, he did. It's impossible for Akro to be the murderer in this case. If that's the case, then it's natural for one to consider possible accomplices.
You don't say.
Not good, not good. This isn't going to end well. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy.
What?
You must not have heard the sound just now. Maybe it wasn't clear enough. You sound of you falling into your own trap can be hard to notice sometimes.
Mr. Wright, it seems as if you won't be stopping at Acro, but will be making another accusation. If Acro did not have an accomplice, things are not looking good for you.
I understand, Your Honor.
Very well, let's continue. Who, perchance, would happen to be Acro's accomplice?
The birds! The monkey.
Take that!
You don't say!
Uh-oh. This is looking very, very bad. Don't tell me you think you're going to get off easy.
What?
Oh, did you hear that?
Hear what?
The sound of you getting caught in your own trap. What a splendid accomplice. I'm sure this accusation is built on a solid foundation.
Foundation? Yes, Mr. Wright. Do you have any proof that this person you've accused is indeed an accomplice?
Crap. I mean, he's a monkey. How would he not be an accomplice? Wrong statue taken from the cafeteria. Check details. Hey, that thing's shiny. He likes shiny stuff. Present!
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
this piece of evidence is lacking the persuasive power.
You did not miss that sound, did you, Mr. Phoenix, right? You know, the sound of you receiving a penalty.
What are you doing, Nick?
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
Gosh dang it. I mean, the monkey is the only accomplice I can think of. Because it's shiny. I need to save. Need to save.
Of course he didn't.
Now then, this must be when you hear the name of the mystery accomplice.
Not this time, Von Karma.
What?
You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice.
Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Order! Order! What are you getting at?
Why do you keep them on their toes, Nick?
Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
How can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. I can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright, then let's do it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling?
He was in his room.
He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster.
But, are you nuts?
What are you saying, Mr. Dingling? What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory.
That's it.
Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
As a witness has stated, your assertions is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene and be the killer.
You've got a point.
It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
The defendant was clearly spotted on the scene of the crime.
It's true.
Mo
said that he saw Max, didn't he?
But Maya it's still impossible for humans to fly.
Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright?
What is it?
I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume.
How did he do it? That's the next course of legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick. Have you messed up here?
She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us on as how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
I feel like I don't have evidence on how he did it. I'm still saving. Save scumming. I can't present any evidence.
I think we will finally be graced with an explanation.
Don't push it, Bun Karma.
What?
You aren't gonna suck me in this time. I'm smart enough to know when I don't have the cards to play, and my hand sucks right now.
What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
He means that everything he said up until now has been a nonsense. It's true, right? If you can't establish proof of the murder theory, then it's nonsense. He's trying to fool us by playing some misdirection game.
Looks like this isn't going to pass. Mustard.
Nick, you gotta show some evidence.
Easier said than done. I'm going to present evidence.
So, what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of the murder against
The case is wrong. I'm wrong. It's not the case. I just want it to die. Just kill me. Yeah, you're probably right. So, as I was saying, piece of evidence.
Stop, wait, I say. Before you start over, you must be penalized. That's enough. Yeah, Bill Bob Joe, Don. He's the murderer. He's guilty. Now get out of my court. This stupid magician bullcrap is getting on my nerves. What is this stupid bullcrap? Getting on my nerves. I don't understand these people there nowadays.
Present evidence. I'm going to present some evidence.
So, what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime and murder against Russell Berry?
This.
What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
The bust?
That's quite a large bust, and because it is life-sized, it is also very, very heavy.
Heavy?
Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from the third-story window. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust.
Order! So you're saying the bus fell right into the ringmaster?
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit.
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible.
Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well,
Acro's at a loss for words.
He should be. He knows I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro.
What? Oh! I'd watch what you say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand we get a proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
And Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time.
Objection!
There's absolutely no need for such a testimony.
Objection!
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but you need to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problem. However, let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you.
That woman will sink to any low to win this case.
I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from work as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would have been unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubt in regards to the witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with the cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus.
I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust.
Have you ever lifted up the bust before?
No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it. Don't you think I can't let money outdo me on this?
Money? That crazy monkey lifted Max's bust before?
Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured.
Oops. Apesies.
Hold it!
So, what have you been doing to keep in shape?
Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope.
You don't say.
But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix, right? I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. Nick.
Whoa. How did this discussion turn to me all of a sudden?
I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible.
And why is that?
Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown the bust out the window? There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my body, on my lower body.
How long do you think your recovery will take?
You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head.
Why do you say it would be impossible?
Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head.
Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick,
Huh?
what if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow that Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down.
I think I've already explained things sufficiently. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think?
If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all.
If all I had to do was drop it, you're right. I could have done that. However, there is no way that I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright?
Acro is strong enough to lift the bust.
The main problem is, how could he have aimed for the ringmaster's head?
I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster?
Let's take it, Nick. Let's show him what you've got.
I've got to be careful. I have to find something that fits perfectly with this case.
I don't remember us finding any sort of tool, but maybe we overlooked something.
No, the chest. The chest! You can know where his head is because of the chest. It's impossible to know the location of the ringmaster's head. Objection!
Objection!
Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you?
What are you driving at, Mr. Wright?
You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Objection!
You silly hinting at things is pointless. Mr. Phoenix, Wright? Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over?
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here?
Who?
When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box, which means that this wooden box is already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bus came falling down was exactly the same moment the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
No.
Order! This is unbelievable!
Finally, some of those loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed the wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then lowered it. Then all he had to do was lower it down.
Oh! Allow me to whip some more into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ow! The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box.
That's why the box was so specially made.
Specially made?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The size of the box, the weight of the box, the contents of the box, the weight of the box, I want to say. The box has remarkable weight.
Wait.
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift this wooden box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down, then lift it up with their body, wouldn't they, you say?
That's exactly what I'm trying to point out. The box is also very large.
The box was also carrying handles on the side, doesn't it?
That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place.
Fool!
Does he even bother to listen to me anymore?
I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright, you may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing.
What?
Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Yes, I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
That means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bus from the cafeteria.
Yep. I definitely have a problem here. But this is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all.
Alright, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria to his room?
Monkey, sir.
A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole the ring, ventriloquist's ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust?
Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on its own, and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Maybe you should put a whip down sometime and read the court records.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro, Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order! Order! I said order! Miss One Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron!
Mr. Ryder's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy, however. His argument does hold water. There is no denying that. Oh!
Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud?
You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Wright.
And what's that? What is that?
You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted by the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now.
I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there was two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw?
The bust. We just went over this. Really? You're asking me this? The bust. He saw Max's Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence had nothing to do with the equation.
Objection!
Au contraire, mon frère. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette, but he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is this possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? How have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouettes he saw was wearing a cloak.
Objection!
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one of the cards in the bust's hand. Idiot, who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? It doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? The question is of the utmost importance in this case. Don't you agree?
He caught me.
So, let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
It was it was his cloak.
Take that!
Fool! Him?
Are you saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying.
The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust?
Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
Then, what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have the handle? Do you really have a handle on all of this?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At this very instant that the bust hit the victim,
You just wait a second, Mr. Phoenix, right? As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be.
it's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused the sound of a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the busts. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that is how the magical murder disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now.
So,
What now?
you've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
This court only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Dick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claim. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Hard proof. Hard proof? What's hard proof? How am I... How am I... This is it. Places are... Place Acro in Regina's pocket the morning of the crime. No. Hard proof? What hard proof? There's map of the Berry Big Circus. Monkey who takes care of Acro have actually gathered swords of shiny. Hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. Hard proof that I unraveled the trick to this magic case. Hard proof. Hard proof. Hard proof. Retrieve from the big room. Place Acro in Regina's room. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to the magic case. You can't quick save though. There's no I can't get into the quick save menu. I should have done it before. That, I can think that. I can't, that. Picture the crime scene. The fact that the cloak isn't there save. I got it wrong. I got it wrong. Everybody says the cloak is there, but the cloak's clear is not there.
Try again.
If they had been silent for 2 more seconds, I would have screamed.
Nick, they say they want evidence.
I just explained how you're the only murder person. Something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? Contradiction, actually. Mo's eyewitness account. What was contradictory of Mo's eyewitness account? The fact that it was floating? Dun 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 dun. Bum ba dum. I'm gonna guess that this letter hard evidence. Nope, I'm dead. Nope, I'm dead. I'm dead.
What is it, gent? You stupid magicians. What did you think of next? Where are my tricks? I'm hungry.
Let me save here just so we have a quick save spot. Because I feel I'm gonna get this wrong just a couple more times. It could be a person. It could very well be a person. Contradiction, actually. Okay. A contradiction. Well, hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. Victim, the ringmaster, his father. Hard proof that I figured this out. Something that Mo said. Blunt force trauma to the back of the head. To the back of the head? Would that be it? Take that! No? Okay. Wasn't blunt force trauma to the back of the head, chat. If you thought that, you were wrong. Shame on you. Why would you think that? Now, 3 parallel worlds, he's been guilty. Anyway, we're in the right parallel world, so clearly this time he won't be guilty. Crime photo. SoCat. I want hard proof that you unraveled the trick to this magic. On the side of the wooden victim. The bust? Isn't the bust hard proof? No. Something about Mo's thing, was it? I don't know what you want from me. Floating. flew away. Didn't see the roses. Embezzle the Max 3 famous, is it? The problem in Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, the white roses.
Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceeding.
Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony.
The silk hat was one and the white rose were the other one.
But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions.
You fool. Do you ever shut up?
Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember that Mo said what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's.
It makes sense. If you look at it in that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Objection!
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
What did I present? I presented the photo with the 3 symbols because Mo's problem was the flowers were not on him, but they were there. They just were hidden behind the cloak. Or rather, since it was turned around, you saw behind the cloak, but you saw his behind, but you didn't see the front where he is the thing. If only I could refollow.
Thanks, Andrew.
The other contradiction?
Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said there were no white roses. I'd like you to try and explain that one. Can you do it, Nick?
Of course, I can explain all of it.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If a cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust.
Order! Order! This is quite a shocking state of affair. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Fun Karma will finally throw in the towel. Oh, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind?
What is it?
You took the time to research our circus, didn't you?
Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't?
If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track.
Why is that?
Motive.
This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now.
But what do we do? There's no doubting that Agro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive?
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Well, however, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. To be continued.
One more piece in the court chat. The last and final chapter of this turnabout. We'll be right back with more Ace Attorney, Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, after a quick break.
Alright, guys. This should be the final chapter. I've been playing this chapter. I think I remember this chapter being the longest chapter. And also like the points where I got stuck the most of this game. But this should be the final section of this chapter. The final chapter of the final finale of this judge. So let's go and do the thing. Okay. What is my layout doing? Come on. There we go. Okay. I cleared stage. Continue. December 30th. December 30th, 2:17 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 5.
I can't believe it! Hakro!
It's pretty shocking, isn't it?
He definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. The straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated?
Keep forgetting he changes his accent at that point.
Agro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
Hey, Dad.
Psst. but, I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey, pal. You gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
Huh? Detective Gumshoe.
Nah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway.
Now, Detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little?
We've got some really tasty milk.
How about the card trick, Detective?
Ho. Well, if you insist.
Now, about the evidence you mentioned, what is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Agro's room.
Yep. I've included the poisonings result. Time to look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad if you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret.
Huh?
Look, details are on need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. And that's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What do you mean by the very end part?
I'm not sure, but it was all pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing.
Don't scare me like that.
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk. The recipient area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
An entire dairy's worth of milk for me. December 30th, 2:27 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2.
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with
Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship with the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with the testimony.
Finally, we can get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want to answer to.
When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringleader of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respects the victim. I'd wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think of that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Of course I'll cross-examine, but before that, I want to see what evidence I was just given. This. Bat scarf stained with blood and a small quantity of pepper. Pepper? No need to question him now. I guess it's over. He was such a good... he liked the ringmaster so much, there's no reason to question him. Of course I'll cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness.
You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix, right? Well, you don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents.
Hold it!
We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Acro?
I was 8 years old, and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories. It looks like.
Oh!
No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony. That was when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in.
Hold it!
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster?
He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people in the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come to see us with a laugh and a smile.
But a beautiful story.
That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult.
So, then how long have you been a performer? I became an acrobat at around 9 years old.
You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age?
I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. It's nearly a household name.
Dinglingberries. I've heard of them in Germany.
Liar.
The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man.
And Judge keeps looking at Acro almost like he a proud father.
I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster?
Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of these witnesses' testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard.
Oh! Ow! 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 No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor.
Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know.
After these quick saving messages.
How it is it that I seem to make you guilty, and somehow we're back here where we're not guilty? Hey, could you explain that, Mr. Wright?
I can answer something else.
I would just like to know, can you provide the explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
I can't provide one.
Nick?
Yeah, I didn't have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all.
Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so full-heartedly foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was this. This is the killer of Russellberry, the ringmaster.
If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night.
What did you just say?
I'm saying that the target of the witness's murder plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russellberry to begin with.
What?
Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in my court?
Oh! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else?
Take that!
Regina Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it.
That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to... Oh!
The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Leon.
All right, Mr. Wright.
At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence.
Oh, I'm dead.
This better not be a bluff. You're going to...
Ooh. You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Those two are finishing each other's sentence now.
Oh, come on. That was it. Game, you could be smart enough to link that to... Come on, devs. Come on, that... It should have been a multiple choice. Let's...
I would just like to know.
Can't provide one. There's skip through speed run. Can't provide one, no, because Acro, no, blah, blah, blah. No, you want to profit to the end, and yes, and the ringmaster, it wasn't your target, was it? No, it wasn't your target. Oh, what do you mean? What?
What order the court? What was it? The court?
No, you can't start. I don't do anything. I don't think to imply the Acro was trying to kill someone else.
Take that!
Regina better. What are we doing? That one, Regina Berry. He could possibly use. You're wrong. There's a fix.
The order is enough.
You do not interrupt me. Only death interrupts me. What is the reason? Give me proof.
Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Okay. I should have saved before this, but it's because a bat. Still in a coma. That would be it, wouldn't it? It's either bat, it's not the lion, or the piece of evidence that they gave me, stained with the blood of a small quantity of pepper. It has to be bat.
Take that!
All right, Mr. Wright.
At this point,
Oh man, wasn't it? I know I'm thinking the right thing, it's just the game's like, no, you have to present this specific evidence because this is... dumb. Yeah, let's speedrun this again. Take it back now, y'all. 2 hops this time. Can't provide one. And thank you, by the way, J-Mans, for the compliment. Appreciate it. It was Regina.
Take that!
Let me save here. I'll have to do all that again.
Huh?
That goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix. Like, show me evidence now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
I'm gonna present the napkin.
Take that!
All right.
Gosh dang it, really? Present the girl. What? Present the evidence that proves Acro was out. Oh, it is this. Acro placed by Acro in Regina's pocket.
Take that!
Acro, you remember this, don't you?
That's
It's a piece of paper that we found inside of Regina's tailcoat, Ringmaster's tailcoat.
inside the victim's tailcoat.
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone at the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster.
You mean it wasn't for the...
That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order, Mr. Wright. This little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why the morning of the crime she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board.
That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note?
That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier.
Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself.
Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out the window to see who it actually was.
I've got it. I've got it. Acro thought that it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he left the bust fly.
Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience?
She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here.
I hope Regina can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Foolish fool with foolish ideas. You're foolishly made with all these foolishly foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix, right? If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence
of what took place.
Yes? What about that line?
Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer.
You just don't get it, do you?
What? What did you just say?
The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. In place of his lovely daughter. Hold right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago?
I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moran?
Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I think so.
Well, then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is.
If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing.
The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually...
Take that!
What? This is it? Well, I kind of figured that I'd try to get rid of evidence that didn't need anymore. What? Well, from now on, you can do those sort of things on your own time. That's enough. This court has no reason to prolong the trial. I'm going to say that he's guilty, and that we're just going to have to start back from the save point again, Mr. Wright. So do whatever you do with your time travels and choose the save point again.
Dang it, I'm way back here now. Prove that right here.
Percy Regina Ferry. Order.
The ringmaster killed because of mistake of Regina.
He had no way of seeing where Regina was. Mistaking the ringmaster for Regina.
Objection!
The foolish Mr. Wright, the conclusive evidence. What is this conclusive evidence then?
Incident, I know all about it. Let's save here. I'm not sure how far back that is.
The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually...
Take that!
The pepper.
It's you!
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence
is what was inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So, what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Action!
Foolish fool, no, who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you are so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim?
Take that!
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother.
Action!
What does this prove?
His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, she did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brothers, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal is that in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They would understand the command. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So, then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not a victim of attempted murder. He's a victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident?
It was just an accident? No, if they didn't put just an accident, then no, it was more than that. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix, right? There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being.
She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but I'm gonna save right here so that I don't have to go through all that text again because you talk a lot. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human. She may not have incited to the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat. The animal line shows that Regina was 6 months ago. Can I present the scarf this time? Can I do that this time?
Take that!
That's just a scarf.
Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct?
That's right.
And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat?
Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina.
There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
What might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Regina gave the scarf to Bat right before the accident. And she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But, out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling.
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed, and it looked like it was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However,
Lion sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually was doing is sneezing. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
you fool!
You've got to be kidding me.
Objection!
What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object. For objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix, right? This theory, do you believe it? Do you really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened?
Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, and this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina.
You foolish idiot.
Ha. Ha ha ha. It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves.
Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro. You can't mean witness.
Well, are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder.
What do you mean by that?
The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would the problem be? The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack of thereof, to be more precise.
The murder weapon?
The bust that the defense claims to be was used. If that were to be found in Agro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be.
The bust.
Nick, you gotta do something.
This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. See how things work out? Request to search Acro's room. It's not gonna be in Acro's room. They would have found it a long time ago. It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but
why aren't you going to search his room?
It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now, you know the true meaning of one karma total justice.
I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned.
One karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
But what did you find?
There is no reason to even say it. We found what you think we found in the room. Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story.
Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this.
Ha, ha, ha. It looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin.
But, what about the scarf? What about the notes?
What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust. Where is it now?
Where is the bust now?
You're Phoenix Wright. You know where the bust is. I'm sure you do.
There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Because there's nowhere else the bust could be.
It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense counter's argument looks to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think this brings to an end of this cross-examination of this witness.
Hold it.
Hold it. Where's is Mac's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I just bit my tongue. That bit my tongue.
What? That needs time for what?
Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
Are you asking me?
The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait. You can't be serious.
Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well. The defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon.
Walking the tightrope of logic. There's no room for false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward.
The murder weapon. Where is Mac's bust now?
Somewhere in the lodging house.
somewhere in the big tub, somewhere in this courtroom. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obvious. Where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. The judge's bench. The prosecutor's bench. The witness's bench. Acro, I'm sorry to ask you this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry. I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Ha, 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 ha. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Mr. Wright, masterfully played.
You fool! How could you?
You got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them? Miss Francesca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright.
But
there's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to lodge How did you know to lodge the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of evidence, decisive evidence: the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously, I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. The only place that I could hide it quickly was under this chair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. That's amazing.
Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't.
I can't believe it. Me? Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search on your room? If only I hadn't done that.
It seems we've finally arrived at the truth. Acro? Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the very big circus, Mr. Russellberry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he teased her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way.
And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper.
I know she didn't mean anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried.
That's when you decided to do something about it, about Regina.
How dreadful.
So you're saying that you are a victim of all this as well? No, that's not what I mean. I'm not nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. This court is adjourned.
December 30th, 427, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 5.
Fabulous! But To be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Agro, the Brainmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to.
Congrats, many congrats, but only at max 1,000,000 of them.
Thank you.
What's with the vibe in this room?
We're just thinking about Agro.
No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault.
This is a sweetie pie.
A Bat, an Acro. They're never coming back. Now everyone's going to split up. Regina, Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Agro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't up and leave yet.
Does that mean that Agro, he's gonna try and get his revenge on me?
I don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that.
Yep, Anchor doesn't have a desire for revenge anymore.
If that's so, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know that you're not just making stuff up. Agro not wanting revenge.
Alright. Chat, because I don't like missing this, and I've missed this in the past. Let me know if I'm right or wrong, chat. As a presenting Bat, I feel like Acro wanted to stay alive and not go away because he wanted to see Bat again. He wanted to be around if Bat would recover. Is this correct, chat? Not sure, to be honest. Sure somebody knows. Hold on, check. No, he's bad. This is not that. That's the only thing. Like, really the only thing it could be. I feel. But I don't want to miss this. Yeah, it's bad. Okay.
Take that!
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
But Bat. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Agro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Pat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then until he can meet Agro again.
That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind.
Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So, whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now?
That's the big question. My ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made up a decision.
What is it?
I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen.
The best circus the world has ever seen.
Don't laugh.
That's quite the goal.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Then, I guess that changes things.
Huh?
There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusionists. Illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician in the world has ever seen.
Max,
Let's work together and make this circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy?
I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, are you gonna help them out too? You're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? You've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry.
Max. Nick!
It seems like everything is going to turn out alright here.
I can't wait to see the best circus in the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats.
I see. What made the case?
Yesterday's surprise, it was really paid off just like that, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean what, Mr. White?
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, need not worry. I plan to personally step by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Turnabout, Big Top, the end. What a twist! Farewell, my turnabout. Now that is the end of the stream, but I will leave you with a preview for next time, We're going to be going through this next chapter next time. So, if you guys would, enjoy this preview, and we will be going to go raid somebody after we end, so don't go away.
Now, the moment you've been waiting for. Who will this year's Grand Prix champion? Will be our hero's hero. Something that was said. Will it be last year's runner-up Jammin' Ninja, Captain Sapien of the line Sapien, the Starry School of Wearing Rangers, or Global Hero or Pecan without the prize? We hope that Lady Luck is with all our heroes tonight. And now, the winner of the 3rd annual Heroes of Heroes Grand Prix is me! Whoa! The true hero of the night has appeared in the night! It looks like this year's Grand Prix goes to the fantastic warrior, the Nickel Samurai! Too bad, Jammin' Ninja. Looks like the title eluded you again this year.
Alright, yes. Did you hear that, Nick? Yeah, did you? The Nickel Samurai, he did it!
Yeah, he sure did. I'm getting too old for this.
I'm proud of the guy for doing the series justice.
Nope. So, the person everyone was cheering for, I guess he got the prize. Yep. You know who we're talking about, Pearly? The Nickel Samurai. No, every Sunday I only watch the educational channels. Kids, Masterpiece Theater. Okay, that's it from now on. It's Nickel Samurai. All the kids watch. Do you like this Nickel Samurai too, Mr. Nick? Nah, Nick is an old fart, so he doesn't allow to watch it. It doesn't allow him to watch it anymore.
That's right, because I do like kids' masterpiece theater.
Hey, I didn't know you were so young at heart, Nick. Mr. Nick, you're a grown-up. You're not allowed to watch it anymore. You're supposed to act on your age and have interests to match. It's very important. Give it a rest, Burley.
Looks like
Looks like I made the right choice in inviting everyone here. I'm glad you're all having a good time.
It's like a dream.
Too bad for the Jammin' Ninja though. Last year, he lost the Pink Princess, warrior of Little Old Tokyo. I thought this might have been his year.
Yeah. Oh, hey, did anyone else think the Jammin' Ninja looked a bit different today? Different? What do you mean? Well, he wasn't carrying his bright red guitar.
Yeah, you're right. Strange he walked around without the singer's guitar.
I will never understand these people and their shows. Anyway, Mr. Powers, thank you very much for tonight.
Yeah, it was nothing. I owe you one. So, it's just my way of saying thanks.
Hey, Nick, come on. It's time to get going to the lobby. There's a post-ceremony stage show that's supposed to start real soon.
Hey, then I heard there's going to be a press conference after that.
A press conference? Is he going to make a speech winning this year's prize?
Well, not exactly. Something about the Nickel Samurai confessing something.
Confessing? Sounds pretty serious.
Nick, come on.